Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, when you think about the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most iconic franchises in NFL history, you know that each offseason brings a wave of anticipation, hope, and sometimes bold moves that can really shake up the landscape. And this year, the Cowboys are no different. They've been busy, making strategic moves during the NFL offseason that have sent ripples through the league. They've dedicated considerable resources to revamp their running back room, a position that has been a hot topic in Dallas for quite some time now. And it's not just about signing veterans. It's about building a versatile, explosive backfield that can carry the team to another deep playoff run. But let's unpack what exactly they've done, what it means, and what could still be on the horizon, especially considering the NFL's evolving landscape and the quest for a Super Bowl title. So, the Cowboys started their offseason by bringing in some familiar names, but also some fresh faces. They signed Javonte Williams, a player with incredible upside, coming off an injury-plagued 2022 season, but with a resume that suggests he can be a true difference-maker when healthy. Williams is known for his power, agility, and ability to break tackles, making him a perfect fit for Dallas's physical style of play. Alongside him, they added Miles Sanders, a proven performer with a nose for the end zone, especially in the red zone. Sanders has a history of rushing for over 200 yards in a season and scoring double-digit touchdowns, and he is hungry to prove himself as a lead back in a high-octane offense. But that's not all. The Cowboys also made a splash in the 2025 NFL Draft, selecting 2 talented rookies who could develop into significant contributors in the coming seasons. Texas speedster Jadon Blue was their first pick among the rookies, a player known for his explosive speed and agility traits that could add a new dimension to Dallas's ground game. Blue's ability to hit the outside and turn short runs into big gains makes him a potential game changer. The other rookie, Phil Maffa from Clemson, is a bruiser, a powerful back with the ability to run between the tackles and grind out tough yards. His physicality and vision could serve as a perfect complement to Blue's quickness, giving the Cowboys an even more dynamic rushing attack. Now, looking at this crowded backfield, it's clear Dallas is trying to create a committee approach, but questions remain about whether they have a true RB1, someone who can carry the load consistently and be the centerpiece of their offense. That's where the intrigue lies. Can one of these players step up and seize the role? Or will the Cowboys continue to rotate backs throughout the season, depending on matchups and game plans? This is a storyline to watch, especially as the season approaches and teams begin to settle into their identities. But the NFL offseason is never just about what you have. It's also about what you might add. And here's where things get really interesting. There's buzz around the league about potential trades, especially regarding some star players who might be looking for new homes. One name that's been floating around as a potential fit for Dallas is James Cook, the talented running back from the Buffalo Bills. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, isn't James Cook the younger brother of Dalvin Cook? That's right. James has been making a name for himself over the past couple of seasons, surpassing 1,000 yards rushing in each of the last 2 years, and last season, he was the NFL's co-leader in rushing touchdowns with 16. That's pretty impressive, especially considering his age and the fact that he is still ascending as a player. So why is James Cook being linked to Dallas? Well, the fantasy football community and NFL analysts are eyeing this possibility, because Cook could instantly slot into the Cowboys' backfield and become their top rushing option. The article on C points out that if Dak Prescott and the offense stay healthy, adding Cook could elevate Dallas's already potent attack to a whole new level. With C.D. Lamb and George Pickens stretching the field on the outside, the Cowboys would have a balanced attack that defenses would struggle to contain. The rushing lanes would open up, and Cook's ability to catch out of the backfield would add another layer of complexity to Dallas's offense. Let us pause for a moment here, because this is a huge point. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. Now imagine the scenario: Cook, with his speed and vision, taking handoffs and finding cutback lanes behind the Cowboys' offensive line, which has shown improvement under the guidance of their coaching staff. And this is no small feat. Dallas has historically been a team that can put up points in bunches. Just 2 seasons ago, they led the league in points per game, showcasing how explosive their offense can be when everything clicks. Last year, even with some injuries and inconsistencies, they still managed to finish among the top offenses. But here's the catch: there are financial considerations. James Cook is seeking a big payday, and that could complicate matters for Dallas. They already have George Pickens entering the final year of his rookie deal, and if they want to keep him, they might have to allocate significant resources. The same goes for executing a trade for Cook, especially considering the Bills might want to get maximum value. Historically, the Bills have shown willingness to move on from players if the right offer comes along, especially in a year where they are rebuilding or retooling their roster. But a trade for Cook would be costly, and the Cowboys would need to evaluate whether it's worth sacrificing some cap space or draft capital to land a player who could make an immediate impact. And while the trade scenario might seem like a long shot after all, Buffalo isn't just going to give away a player of Cook's caliber for free. The idea sparks the imagination. What if Dallas could pull it off? What if they could add a dynamic playmaker like James Cook to an already dangerous offense? It could be the piece that pushes them from a good team into a true Super Bowl contender. Plus, with the Cowboys' offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer, known for his innovative play calling, integrating a versatile back like Cook would be seamless. Schottenheimer has a knack for maximizing the talents of his players, and Cook's skill set fits perfectly into what Dallas has been trying to build: an offense that can adapt and explode at any moment. Now, let us look at Cook's stats a bit more closely. Over his 3 seasons in Buffalo, he has accumulated over 600 rushing yards and scored 20 touchdowns on the ground. Not only that, but he has also proven to be a reliable receiver out of the backfield, with 97 catches for nearly 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. His ability to catch passes makes him a dual threat, and in Dallas' offense, that versatility is gold. Imagine him lining up in the backfield, catching a screen pass and turning it into a big gain, or taking a handoff and blazing past defenders on the outside. It's a nightmare for opposing defenses. And don't forget, last year, his older brother Dalvin Cook was briefly with the Cowboys. That familial connection adds an interesting storyline. 2 brothers, both talented running backs, both capable of changing games. The NFL is a league of moments and narratives, and adding Cook could bring a new chapter to Dallas' story this season. But beyond the hypothetical trade, it's important to remember that the Cowboys have already made a statement by investing in their offensive line and skill players. They've drafted well, signed key veterans, and shown a willingness to go all in. Their goal remains clear: maximize Dak Prescott's prime years, put up points, and finally get over the playoff hump. The addition of a player like James Cook, or even a similar star, could be the difference maker that helps them reach the promised land. Looking at the bigger picture, this offseason marks a pivotal moment for Dallas. They are trying to balance building a versatile, explosive offense while managing salary caps and roster flexibility. The NFL is always evolving, and teams that make bold moves often find themselves in a better position come postseason time. The Cowboys, with their rich history and passionate fan base, are no strangers to making headlines, whether it's through drafting, trades, or strategic signings. And of course, fans are eager to see how this all unfolds. Will Dallas pull the trigger on a blockbuster trade? Will they continue to build through the draft and free agency? The excitement is palpable, and the potential for a special season is definitely there. The NFC East is shaping up to be more competitive than ever, with the Eagles, Giants, and Commanders all making their own moves. But Dallas has always been about resilience, strategy, and finding that edge that separates champions from contenders. In terms of expectations, a lot of eyes are on Prescott, C.D. Lamb, and the revamped defense led by Micah Parsons. But it's the running game that could be the X factor. If they can establish a consistent ground attack, whether through their current roster, a trade, or a combination, their offense becomes even more unpredictable. That's the kind of team that can dominate clock management, keep defenses honest, and rack up points when it matters most. Now, if we look at the history of the Cowboys, they've often been a team that can surprise fans and analysts alike. From their legendary dynasty years to recent playoff runs, their success has often depended on key players stepping up at the right moments. The current roster has that potential again, lots of young talent mixed with seasoned veterans. But the key will be how well they can gel, adapt, and incorporate new pieces into their system. And let us not forget the coaching staff. Head coach Mike McCarthy and offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer are proven winners with a track record of game-changing adjustments. Their ability to creatively utilize players like Cook, if he joins the squad, could be the secret sauce that elevates Dallas from good to great. And with the team's focus on physicality, speed, and versatility, the Cowboys are positioning themselves as a true contender once again. In conclusion, guys, this offseason has been a roller coaster for Dallas fans. The moves they've made show a clear intent to contend now and for the future. The possibility of adding a player like James Cook might be a long shot, but it's one that fuels the excitement and hope among fans. Dallas isn't just trying to patch things up, they're aiming to dominate, to leave their mark, and to finally bring that sixth Lombardi trophy back to a T-Stadium. The NFL is a league where boldness often pays off, and the Cowboys seem ready to take that leap. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. The season is approaching and the excitement is building. Let us keep the faith, stay passionate, and get ready for what promises to be an unforgettable year. Thanks for being part of this journey, and as always, go Cowboys.